Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Bear. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, go ahead and reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like being a lurker, go ahead and lurk. That'll be okay. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Ghost Valve is here. Hello, Ghost Valve. It's a Saturday evening, and I feel like building a model kit. And conveniently enough, I have it set up that I build model kits on Saturdays. So we're here and get used to it. That's the thing. We are working on the sorry, I forgot to edit this. I apologize. I thought I had edited this. We are working on Char's Zaku 2, version 2, the master grade, and I forgot to update since Thursday's stream, which is my fault. My fault totally. Unacceptable, Pat. What are you thinking? What were you even doing, Pat? Yeah, so we're working on Char Zaku 2 V2. This is version 2 of it. This is a kit from 2007. It is a master grade. It will take a while to build. And normally I would be running a poll once this kit is done saying, hey, what should I work on next? But no, I know what we're working on next because it arrives sometime next week and it will take a while to build this kit, so we won't get to it too soon. But eventually we will immediately go from this kit to the amplified Blue Eyes White Dragon kit. Hey, Lord Cratchit, welcome, welcome. And we got to do the Blue Eyes White Dragon amplified because that won my poll. And I spent a lot of money on that kit, and I'm not going to just hope that it wins the poll from my $10 patrons. Being like, hey, what should I build next? And they all are just like, the Lego set, Pat, or whatever. No, I'm going to build that because I spent $75 worth of gift cards and then a couple dollars in extra because it was a little more than that. So I'm going to fucking build it. I'm not going to mess around with the chance that some of you $10 a month patron jokers out there are going to be like, no, I think you should work on the, I don't even know what else I put up for grabs. Oh, you should work on that other car from Initial D, the other Mold King car. No, not giving you the chance. No. What if you worked on this 30-minute missions kit that you bought? The second one you've ever worked on, which is, to be fair, is coming in the mail soon and will be cool because it looks neat. And I've only done one other 30-minute mission kit. So like, I am looking forward to doing that, but not as much as a fucking giant, cool Blue Eyes White Dragon kit that was very expensive. So that's the next thing we're building in the future. It's going to be a while because master grades take time to build. All right, we probably dicked around here enough. We could probably get into model kit building. Yeah, I think we can get into that. I think we can do that thing. Here's the main feed. Great. Okay. So there's not a lot of news of the world for me to talk about here. It's been a slow news week into the weekend. It makes sense that would happen. But I do want to say that a thing happened that is kind of incredible, and we need to talk about it. As I work on our pod here, I gotta put this kit in there. Gotta squeeze that in there. I don't know how that's gonna go here. There, fit in Char. Gotta put Char in the cockpit here. We're building the cockpit. Put that there. This is gonna go like that. This has some movement in it. It can move around a bit, I guess. That goes like that. It's odd. I mean, it's trying to be show accurate, which is fun, but also like it's a model kit, so it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to go for that amount of accuracy, but it does. And then we slide that in like this, lock it in place. The nice thing is, yeah, so Char can like move around in here. somewhat, going from like side to side, and you can like decide where Char is going to be. And that's pretty cool and weird. You can just slide him around. We'll just leave him in the middle for now. That's kind of cool and kind of strange, but we'll keep working on this. Okay, so at the end of the year, people do lists, right? They're like, hey, here are my top 10s. Here's my favorite whatever. Well, sometimes people do polls as well, right? They're trying to, various things like, hey, what was your favorite album of the year? Like, here's what the readers of our website had to say about their favorite games of the year. That kind of thing, right? This is not a bonkers weird thing that no one's ever heard of. Well, the Korean Reddit for wrestling. There is an active Reddit for Koreans, not Korean Americans, Korean South Koreans that live, and that watch wrestling. And a lot of Korean wrestler fans watch Japanese wrestling. There's some wrestling in South Korea. It is not that big there, but there is a fandom. And there are some that watch WWE and AEW that watch American wrestling. Now, this amount of people that did this poll, that give these answers here, is a bit over 1,000 people. So it's a small sample size. So I can't call this is what Koreans think of certain wrestlers, right? That would be unfair for me to just generalize. But I can say that this is what about 1,000 Korean wrestling fans who are on the internet who responded to a poll think. So we can kind of say this is like a way to look at the Korean internet wrestling community, right? And this was translated into English here so that we can know what these poll results are, which is great. A thing was presented itself is that there's a lot of worst. When we're talking about worst here, there are things to look at for worst. Worst can mean best, like worst wrestler of the year could be someone without a lot of talent, or it could be someone who is a very good heel, very good at being very bad. That exists, the possibility here. So some of these things might be, oh, we hate this person because they're evil. Or it could be this community just does not like this particular wrestler. And I can't fully tell, but we'll talk about it. Because the big thing is that the Korean internet wrestling community that is on this Reddit fucking hates Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa is part of the bloodline. His main functionality is being a threat, wrestling people well, because he's a good wrestler, and then he hurt John Cena. He hurt John Cena in kayfabe, obviously. He didn't hurt John Cena for real. So he wins for Worst Male Wrestler of the Year with a vote of 466. The number 2, Roman Reigns, with 298. Now, you can say what you want about Roman Reigns and the character continuing to win and being the ultimate champion and only really wrestling a couple times a year and all that. The man is not a bad wrestler. So for him to win Worst Wrestler of the Year is really just, we're mad that he wins all the time, and I guess you could certainly say we're upset that his matches are all very samey. That you have a distaste for how he wins his matches, because they're fairly formulaic. And if that's your opinion on it, I understand it. I don't necessarily agree with it because I think he's very good at what he does, which is what they want him to do in the company he works for. And it's maybe a larger, your issue might actually just be with the booking more than the wrestler. But, it is what it is, and you feel how you feel, right? I'm going to be talking about how these folks feel, and I'm going to try not to judge them as a group. Just from that, I would assume they not like the Bloodline storyline, and they're really into Sami Zayn. Yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, do they not like the Bloodline storyline, or do they really like Do they really just believe in the kayfabe of it? Do they really just buy into all of it and they're just like playing along in a way? Like, oh, we're supposed to hate this, so we will. But that's not always the case, because sometimes they go off on their own feelings, right? Because the number 3 is Adam Copeland Edge. Now, is he the worst wrestler because he had some clunky matches? Because he did. His match with Finn Balor at WrestleMania, not great, won't be remembered. Or is it because he left and went to AEW? Like, I don't know why he's on this list. And then there's CM Punk, who had some very clunkers in 2022, but certainly the thing to be mad about with CM Punk, I don't think is the matches that his matches. It's all the other stuff. And then Matt Riddle, who sucks as a person, but did he have bad matches? MJF, certainly it was a heel, but other than the match with Jay White, had some really great matches. I think the match with Jay White was booked poorly to make Jay White look bad, and that's a bummer. But other than that, I can't complain about Jay White or MJF as a wrestler. His fucking Broadway with his 60-minute Iron Man match with Bryan Danielson is one of the best matches of the year. And then Jimmy Uso. Sure. That's worst male wrestler of the year. Worst heel of the year. Now, what does this mean? Is this best heel of the year or worst at the job of being a heel? Because the winner, again, Solo Sikoa. Is Solo Sikoa such a good heel that he wins worst heel of the year? Or is he bad at being a heel and they don't like his job of being a heel? I don't know. I don't know what the kayfabe is for this. But also on this list, Roman Reigns. Jimmy Uso. Okay, these are the top heels in AEW. Or, sorry, WWE. What am I saying? AEW. All right, we're moving on here to working on the backpack part of this. So we're going to get that going here. So we need some F pieces. Joining him on this list, Austin Theory. Okay, Austin Theory is a very good heel. He's a good shit heel. So I could see that. CM Punk, worst heel of the year. One could argue that though he was booked as a babyface, his last run in AEW was as a heel, who did not know he was a heel. You can make that argument. Karrion Kross. Honorable mention, Evil. Evil's a pretty good heel, although it hasn't been his year in New Japan. And the Street Profits, which does not make any sense to me. The Street Profits are not heels. They're cool baby faces who sometimes act a little heelish. The Street Profits fucking whip ass, and I'm very confused why they would be on this list. And then also, Xia Li. And I hate to say this. I think it's... I'm going to say it. Is it because she's Chinese? Am I being racist for thinking maybe them saying she's the worst heel of the year and her getting some amount of votes for that is racist? Is it racist to think that's racist? Maybe. But I forgot at one point, like Xia Li has done almost nothing in 2023. She has wrestled so little, I forgot that she didn't get released from the company. For Xia Li to be on this list, it feels like a personal attack on Xia Li. It's very weird. So again, very strange. I would say if worst is worst performing, I would give it to Karrion Kross because he's been very ineffective as a heel in 2023 when he came back. Worst match of the year. Now, is this the outcome or is this the quality? Because there are some poor matches on here, like poor performing matches on here. But there's also matches that like had bad results, I guess. Like, is Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns a worst match of the year? I mean, the outcome where Cody didn't finish the story and defeat Roman Reigns and they kept the belt on Roman Reigns, I could certainly hear an argument that that's a bad booking decision, but does that make it the worst match of the year? I don't think it does. The same thing with Jay White versus MJF. It's not a good main event, but is it one of the worst matches of the year? I don't think so. Austin Theory versus John Cena, very much not great. Just not a great match. Honorable mention, Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns, a good match that had the outcome that people didn't like. So that's why I'm like, I think some of this is just like, because the winner is John Cena versus Solo Sikoa, because these Korean internet fans don't like Solo Sikoa. And, you know, if you're looking at it from just a perspective of, oh, I'm an audience member watching this, I can understand where people are coming from on that. That if you're watching that from that perspective and you're just like, well, he shouldn't, John Cena is the hero and he shouldn't lose to Solo Sikoa. But if you want to look at it from the perspective of, somebody paying attention to what happens in the world of wrestling, John Cena shouldn't beat Solo Sikoa. Like, John Cena shouldn't have beaten Austin Theory. The guy who's been around for a long time and coming back shouldn't be losing to the young guys. You should be making the young guys. So it's right that he lost. Now, is that as fun? No. Okay, sorry. This is going to take a little while as I figure out how this kit wants me to assemble it, because it's a weird kit here. So this has to, this closes in like that. There are some parts of this master grade that are just going to take some time for me to like figure out what this kit wants me to do. It'll be okay. Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight is a bad match. It sucks that Bray Wyatt's last televised wrestling match is that match. I fully understand why someone would say that is the worst match of the year. If you want to call Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight from the Royal Rumble the worst match of the year, I totally understand where you're coming from with that. Like, I totally get that. I think I'm a little more charitable about it than some people would be, because also the man has passed away. Rest in peace. Wyndham Rotunda. But yeah, I don't know. All right, next we gotta remove and put on some of this shit here. We gotta put on some tubing. We got to get some tubing going here. Got to put on some of this stuff here. We got to remove it. Then we got to separate it. Then we got to connect it. Then we got to add in some parts here. So I got to like learn where it wants me to do these things. Then I'm going to need A9 and A9. On this list as well, Ronda Rousey versus Shayna Baszler. That was a fine match. That doesn't need to be on this list. Edge versus Finn Balor, as I said, not great. But yeah, weird mixes of kayfabe and just like bad. Worst mic worker of the year. And this is where it's just like, this is just a personal attack. Solo Sikoa has barely talked into a microphone. He has just barely spoken a word. So for him to win that. And then number 2 is Tony Khan, which is funny. Tony Khan winning worst mic worker of the year. That's just that's just an insult. And I like that. But number 3, Claudio Castagnoli. Claudio Castagnoli won worst mic worker of the year. Or he didn't win. He came in 3rd for worst mic worker of the year. And I'm pretty sure that Claudio has only talked into a microphone when cutting heel promos against Eddie Kingston that were believable. Now, I'm an Eddie Kingston super fan. Y'all know this. Y'all know my love for Eddie is vast. I love Eddie Kingston so much. But the promos against Eddie were fine. They were what you would want. They were like good, like heel promos. So I think he's on this list because he did well as a heel. He was just a bad guy. That's my thinking. Because like I said, some of this I think is in kayfabe. Like, well, Solo Sikoa protects Roman Reigns and makes it so Roman Reigns wins. So therefore, Solo Sikoa is bad. Like, I think that's what we're doing here. But beyond that, I don't know. I'm not sure how else to read that other than that. Okay, so this has to then go off. Yeah. How does this connect? Do I have to disconnect all these parts here? Okay, so then I have to get all these out, and then they have to fit on this. This is such a weird way to do this. So now I'm going to, they want me to, instead of like having them fall over the place, I'm snipping them off a runner, basically. A runner's on the runner. This is so weird, but I'll do what they want me to do. Doing all this, snipping all these off, so then I can then slide this off, and then I have to slide this off onto this. But I don't know how to slide this off because it doesn't seem to want to come off. Yeah, these don't. I'll just break this off like this. I must be doing something wrong because these don't want to come off, but they have to. Try getting them off like there. Okay, that kind of comes off now. And then I have to put these on here. Roman Reigns, MJF, Drew McIntyre on this list. Like I said, this is the weird part of the list where I'm like, okay, sure. What? Like, I'm just, at this point, I don't think I understand. I also don't understand how these come off and work, and that's fine. These are beads. If this was all just connected nicely, I think they would be better than what I'm doing here, which is I have to take all these off and then feed them on the other part. Why couldn't these just come together? What are we doing here? What's going on? But whatever. There's more from this poll. Again, these are just fascinating, weird things. Worst worker of the year. Solo Sikoa. Okay, kayfabe. Solo Sikoa, he's on this list because he's been helping, whatever. But he's had good matches, so it's weird. But number 2, Shotzi. Shotzi had like one bad main event match. Shotzi's a baby face, has solid enough matches. What's happening right now? Why are people mad at Shotzi? Why is this Korean subreddit, wrestling fan subreddit, mad at Shotzi? She barely wrestles on TV. Roman Reigns, Ronda Rousey, Karrion Kross, CM Punk, Jimmy Uso. Okay. Honorable mentions. Ridge Holland. That's rude. I'm not even going to get into it, but that's rude. And Bray Wyatt. And that sucks. That's sad. Bray, like, come on. What the fuck? It's just unnecessary and rude. Worst catchphrase of the year. Once again, this is a real hater here. I'm better than you and you know it is on the list. That didn't win. Acknowledge Me is on the list. That didn't win. My Name is Paul Heyman is on the list. That's very funny. As a catchphrase. The winner of this one is Roar Before Doing Samoan Spike, Solo Sikoa. They counted Solo Sikoa yelling before he hits a move as a catchphrase just so they could give it number 1. And that's some big time, big ol' hate. It's unbelievably great hate. It is a remarkable hate. There's got to be a better way to remove these that I just don't understand. I don't know. There must be something I'm doing wrong with this. Because this shouldn't be like, this shouldn't feel bad to do. But whatever. We'll figure it all out, everyone. I'll make it work. Worst gimmick of the year. It's not generic U.S. champion Austin Theory, which is not a gimmick. That's not his gimmick. That's just a weird thing they made up to be mad at. Again, fighting champion with back injury, Seth Rollins. Why was that bad? Adam Cole's best friend, MJF. You're wrong. MJF as Adam Cole's best friend becoming a babyface because of discovering friendship for the first time is not one of the worst gimmicks. It's the 2002-4 Haters Ball. Yeah, that's an incredible gimmick. I don't know what you're talking about. Uncle Howdy. Yeah, I don't like Uncle Howdy. Sure. Bobby Lashley's sidekicks, the Street Profits. I don't know what you're talking about. The Street Profits are the same as they've ever been, except now they wear nice-looking suits, and that's awesome. But the worst gimmick of the year, according to these 1,000-so people, is Enforcer of the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, which is not really so much a gimmick as just like the thing he was doing this year. It's just, once again, wrestler we decided we were going to be really mad at for whatever reason, Solo Sikoa. And one last one. Worst theme of the year. Is it Born a King, Jimmy Uso's new song, which is pretty good? No. Is it Head of the Table, Roman Reigns' theme song? No. Is it Dig Deep, MJF's theme song? Fuck no. That song's good. What are we talking about here? So what is it? Is it Bet on Yourself? The second version of Bet on Yourself. Johnny Gargano's theme. Arguably terrible compared to his original theme. Way worse. The new version of Bet on Yourself is not good. No. It was a tie, everybody. It's the first version of Bet on Yourself. The far superior version. What are we talking about? And of course, tied with that is Taking It All. And look, you might not follow wrestling, but if you've been following the words I've said, you can guess whose song Taking It All is the theme for. That's right. It's Solo Sikoa's theme, which he almost never uses. And is not bad at all. They're just mad at Solo Sikoa, and this is just an unbelievably weird and wild thing. It is amazingly weird. Also, Cult of Personality made the list, and even if I don't like CM Punk, which I don't, and I'm annoyed with him, Cult of Personality is still a fucking banger. I wonder if there's a secret to these. So we have to do the two of these. I have to do this again for the chest, and I think I have to do them for the head as well. And then I won't have to do them again till the legs. And I'm going to try to find a YouTube video of someone doing this and see if I can find out what the secret is to getting these off, because they don't want to just slide off, and it doesn't make any sense. But there must be a way to apply these that this is not explaining well, because they just don't come off. Cut that off, and then you just cut that off, and then they're just on there. And I'm like, that's not what's happening, though. And I don't understand why. So, trying to get all these off here. Anyway, that was the main thing I want to talk about today, was this. They should change the name of their subreddit. Yeah. I mean, it's just like kind of incredible that this is... Maybe I can use this to pry this out here. Okay, that came out. Great. Okay. Got another one out. Snap this apart here. And I'm also trying to snap these off without breaking anything, right? Because I don't care about this other stuff, but I do care about the parts that I need. So, who's there? All right, yeah. Okay, this is actually easier using the... Force the pieces around here. Force them out. Let's see. Anything else going on with me today? Not really. A bike today. I've been trying to exercise. You know how it goes. Anyway, I did want to share that thing because I thought that was good and nonsense. Kota Ibushi had a very bad match in Noah, like a real bad match, like a really fucking terrible match against Marufuji, who I think is fantastic. Like clearly injured himself in the match and then tried to go on with it, and it didn't really work while he was already not in a great shape. He has apologized and said that he is getting surgery, which is great. Kota Ibushi is a man that is a fantastic wrestler who has had numerous health issues, and we hope for a speedy recovery in this and all other things. He did not look good, says Crazy. Yeah, he didn't look good in the match, and Marufuji could not carry that. Marufuji is an incredibly talented wrestler, but that was not something that he was going to be able to make work. And it really showed, and that's a real shame because yikes. So the hope is that it'll do better in the future and it'll all work out. But yeah, in the present, yikes. Okay, so this peg needs to go on here. Then we need to take this part and then plug in this, which locks it in place. Also, turns out you shouldn't wrestle with a broken ankle. Yeah, Lashbrook. It's weird but true. Maki Ito is also injured. Maki Ito was supposed to compete last night, this morning, depending on where you are in the world. And they ended up not having her compete. She was supposed to take part in a 6-person match, with the winner being the new #1 contender for the Princess of Princess Championship. She did not compete in that match, and she is off indefinitely. We wish Maki Ito the best. We hope her recovery is speedy and that she gets healthy soon, because Maki rules. All right, so this is going to go like this. That's going to go like this. And then this goes... Where does this go? Into the back plate here. Like this here? Okay. Okay, so that goes like that. And then this goes like that. And there's a thing that will lock in over it to lock all of this in place. And where does this log in up here? But yeah, so Maki, unfortunately, did get hurt. Fun thing with Maki, she was like, oh, my arm feels numb all of a sudden. And then the people she was with were like, go to a doctor. And she was like, oh, we'll see. And they were like, no, go to a doctor. So she went to a doctor. And the doctor was like, don't wrestle for a while. Which is a shame, because she did have to cancel some international dates. And people want to see her wrestle places. So, that is a shame. But it's more important that Maki gets well soon. All right, so this gets separated here. This gets separated here. This gets separated here. Here. All right, so that goes like that. And then this gets separated here and here. And then that's it for that. Then we got to pop out all of this. Pop this off. Then we then need to remove these again. And then that needs to all go on here. And then this will go from here to the back there. And then I have to put the parts on that actually lock this in place and lock it all together so it all looks good. Got to do that as well. Yeah. All right. I think I'm doing this right. We'll find out later if I fucked it up, but I think this is right. And then the other problem is, once again, These don't want to come out. Let's do that. Let's see if I can poke some pieces out of here. And again, for future, I will try to identify a way to do this that works better. Because there might be a trick I just don't understand if there is or not. Let's see. Any other wrestling news? Liv Morgan has had some criminal issues. It looks like one of the charges was dropped. She was arrested on December 14th following a search of her vehicle. This is also, I'm saying this one because, that is still news and, WWE superstar and trouble with police and trying to figure some stuff out. It's weed related. And, in a state where that's fine, except when you're in a vehicle, because they're looking for you for stuff. But mostly I just want to say that Liv Morgan has a more boring wrestling name than her real name. It's right up there with Rick Boogs instead of Eric Bugenhagen being an incredible name. And then he was Rick Boogs, which is not as incredible. Because her name is Gianna Daddio. And Gianna Daddio is a better name than Liv Morgan. Just a way better name. Just an arguably a better name. This piece will not fucking come out. And it's making me mad. Will not come out. I've now made it maybe impossible to get out. Okay, just hold this like this. No, I feel like I'm going to break it if I try. That's Claudio's best friend. Indeed. Daddy-o. She received charges for possession of a synthetic cannabinoid and possession of marijuana, which were both found. The former is a felony charge. It's Florida. There's fucking pot there. Come on. The news emerged that the felony charge regarding the synthetic cannabinoid has been dropped. They're not going to pursue felony charges. Now, I don't know what other charges may still happen here. The marijuana charge is still there. So, sounds like that's still a thing. And she'll be back in court in February. But it sounds like the WWE is not mad about this. They don't seem to be, taking it out on her right now. Who knows? But it sounds like right now, because it's like, look, is it drunk driving? No. Then they're pretty much okay. Because that became a whole fucking thing with various wrestlers of driving under the influence. She wasn't caught driving under the influence. She's just caught with marijuana. And then the reason she was pulled over is dubious at best. It very much feels like a police officer trying to get a quota more than anything else. So, it seems like she's doing okay with that. Again, I'm fucking just PO'd with this shit. Cannot get this fucking piece out. I am tempted to just not use this piece and try to get it. I'm going to wait till last. I'm going to try to get the other pieces out here, and then I will wait till the last minute to try to get that one out because it is being frustrating to me. So let's see if I can get this. I can get this one out. Great. So yeah, I'm going to wait on that one and try to figure this all out because it goes like that. Yeah. It goes right. Yeah. Just making sure this is how it looks. Yeah, that's how it looks. Okay. So then, yeah. Let's see. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Trinity, aka formerly known as Naomi, might be coming back to the old WWE. It seems like she might be on her way back, which is probably for the best. It's probably a good place for her. Hopefully, she can get some money out of it. She's been doing fine. I think she was doing just fine in in Impact, but you know, Impact only pays so much, and her husband works for WWE, so some people really like working with their spouses. Reportedly, Michin, and Keith Lee like having their business separate. I believe in an interview she said, it's the easiest way to know that we won't be paired up together and do some kind of weird relationship storyline if we're not in the same company. And I'm like, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's fair. That is the easiest way to make sure you're not involved in anything like that, is not being in the same company. So yeah, it's probably true. All right, let's try to just pop all this off. I got to say, I have done a lot of these over the years, and this is one of the worst implementations of this. I don't care if these look the best of any of them. This is really frustrating to remove them this way. Crazy got Trinity's autograph last convention last year. Very sweet. Nice, yeah. Yeah, Naomi / Trinity seems like a great gal, and I hope she ends up somewhere. She had apparently lovely conversation with Tom Campbell of Cultaholic, who was the during their recent UK tour for Impact, soon to be TNA once again. He was doing some of their ring announcing, and had a lovely time talking with Naomi on a bus. It's fun. Let's see. No. The card for New Japan Battle of the Valley has been announced, and Okada is facing Ospreay, which is pretty fucking big for a U.S. show. That's pretty damn huge, especially with Ospreay wrapping up his commitments to New Japan ahead of working for AEW full time. That's a big fucking match. That could be pretty fucking killer. I definitely put these on wrong. I'm mad. I'm fucking mad at this. I'm a bit mad at myself, but I'm mostly mad at this because, yeah, this isn't going to look great when it's put together. I probably put these on wrong because these aren't the bendy, curvy ones. And these are just not coming out. Ugh. I don't like to be negative, friends. I like to have a good time streaming and be fun and sometimes talk about things that aren't always the most positive in the world. But I don't like to have frustrations with the kits I'm building. But I just don't have a good way of removing this. And it doesn't tell me a good way to do it. They just get removed. She's like, yeah, just pull them off. They don't come out. That's just so weak that this couldn't put pressure on it. Some of them come out no problem. Like there might be a secret I just don't understand with these, and that's frustrating. But I'm getting some of them off. Whatever. It's not going to look perfect, and I'm not going to be too mad about it. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I do want to get them on. I do want them to be nice and connected and looking good, but I'm not going to beat myself up over it if I can't get it perfect. Let's see if I can find the full card for that. Nope, I don't know. All right, video game stuff. Let me go over to Kotaku, see if there's any Kotaku news to chat with you about. Let's see. Apparently, there's been some issues on the old Xbox related to Baldur's Gate 3, where some people were getting some bans because the Xbox XS has a setting to automatically upload saved clips. So you weren't necessarily doing it on purpose. You weren't trying to upload this clip, but you saved this clip because maybe it was fun or interesting, or because there's some naughty bits involved and you want to save it. but you didn't mean to upload it. But then it got uploaded. And then, you know, Xbox people were mad at you. It's like, that's not your fault. But apparently it's been kind of fixed. Clips of the RPG spicy scenes were automatically uploaded publicly as per the Xbox default settings. And then Larian was like, hey, could you... Shit. Can we fix this? And apparently it did get fixed. But maybe if you're playing... Hey, if you have a Series XS or S and you're playing Baldur's Gate 3, go into your settings and make it so you don't have automatic uploads for that stuff. That seems like probably the way to go with that. Just going to say. Don't just, but also you should always turn, anything automatic like that you should turn off, because fuck that. You don't need that. You don't need any of that shit in your life. Just turn all that stuff off. Larian posted on social media channels. The players affected by flag clips should now see their bans being lifted. Larian advises players to keep the game's mature content toggle in the game setting to keep nudity out of any clips they plan to upload. Just, yeah, probably you want to do that. God, this sucks. The worst part is we're going to have to do this again for the head. I'm going to have to do this again for the head. And I'm going to have, pretty soon, I'm going to have to put all these goddamn beats. I hope these other ones come out easier. I hope these are not as nightmarish. But I don't know if they will be or not. We'll find out. Let's see if there's anything else I want to tell you about here. Apparently the new Prince of Persia game is going to be hitting 60 frames per second on all devices. So that includes friends that wanted to, for whatever reason, if you wanted to play the new Prince of Persia on your Switch, apparently it'll be 60 frames. So that's pretty neat. There's not much more to say to that. That's just kind of cool. That's just a cool thing they can do. It's neat. So oh, that's neat. I don't know. I don't have much more to say than that. It's coming out, next year sometime. Or this year sometime, I should say. End of this year, probably. Hey, remember I don't want to talk about that. We don't need that update. Talked about that the other day. Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxies. Until January 11th, that is the free game for the Epic Game Store. So if you haven't picked that game up yet, despite me being kind of fully done with Guardians and that style of jokey joke, the game is good. I did enjoy it. I would probably never have played it without it, people whose opinions I respect and admire liking that game and talking about liking that game. Even people who are a bit curmudgeon-y and also like Marvel stuff less than I do, saying that game was good was enough for me to want to check it out. So I enjoyed that game. Again, it is free on Epic, so I would say might want to just get that. Let's see. People who have been saying for the past several years that the Switch 2 is coming out are saying the Switch 2 is coming out. So water is wet. And it will either be another Switch or a better Switch or a more expensive Switch. But nobody knows because nobody fucking knows. Because the people that do know aren't saying anything. So it just comes down to analysts. And again, this one particular analyst has been saying the same shit for a couple years now. So we'll see. All right. My method was definitely not the way to do it. I don't know any other. Got one other idea here. Let's do this. Can I put that in there like that? Wedge that in. And then try to turn this. Nope. Ow. Oh, I'm not talking right now, which is a bummer, because I should be talking as I work. I have one other idea, which is not a good one. So I might do. Yeah, I can try this idea. Yeah. Yep, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to crack the outer shell here to remove the inner shell. And then I will... So I'm going to do it like this. Crack it enough to remove the piece without fully breaking it. Is this a good idea? No. Am I saying you should do this? No. Don't do this. Don't do what I'm doing now. This is not good. These are going to eventually fall apart. They're going to be fine now, but eventually they're going to completely fall apart and be a big problem. But this is the only way I can think of to get these pieces out now, is to just kind of wreck this thing a bit. That one went too far. Yep. Okay. And then this is going to go into here. And then I need to get the parts that will lock these in place. This took so much longer than I would have imagined. I could not have imagined that anything that would take this long to do. So I need A10 and A4. And then my hope is I can get all this together and that it won't look bad. I mean, it's not going to look great because I did fuck this up. But it might not look bad. And then I need A10, which is here. We're going to take a pause for the cause in a few minutes. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel. In the second hour, I've got a continuing anime show that I've been watching, and then 2 new shows. That's right, new anime. We're going to talk about some new anime, and that should be fun. But first, I need to lock these in place here, and then this has to go like this. This has to go like this, and then this locks in like this. And theoretically, this will keep these pieces from falling out. This still moves. These aren't really locked in place yet because the thing has gone over it. This does not look particularly perfect, but it does look fine enough. And then this will, again, lock that all in place. And that's the side skirt there. I should have panel lined this side here while I could. I'm just going to be using black. John wants me to hit the dance button, and I will. I'll hit the dance button in just a second here while I panel line. Here's the dance button. Thanks, John. 5, loving our 2024 music. I do enjoy it. I am enjoying this funky song here. Oh, yeah. And a 5-stream streak. Thank you very much for watching so many streams, John. Yeah, I should have panel lined this side thing. I was just so wanting this to be closer to being done that I jumped ahead of it. But there we go. Okay, the chest hoses are done. They don't look great, but they look good enough. And then I'll have to try a different way of getting the head unit pieces there. I do have more to do on the chest here. I still have to build the rockets for the backpack and put the backpack on because there's just a gaping hole in the back of this kit here that requires a backpack, which we'll do in a moment. I seem to always miss one a week and break it. Yeah, John, that happens. You know. Like, I'm not saying you got to watch all my streams. Look, I am saying that everyone has to watch every stream that I do. I need you here. Hello to you. I need you here Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern, watching me build model kits and then do other things on Tuesday. I require it and demand it. Nah, I'm not kidding. I do actually want to see what I'm doing next Tuesday because I want to see if anybody else voted. I think I know what I'm doing on Tuesday. I believe I'm going to be playing a video game that I have never played before on stream or in my life. Yes, next Tuesday, I'm going to be playing PC Building Simulator 2. I've never played PC Building Simulator before. I've never played PC Building Simulator 2 before, but I'm going to do it on stream. That's next Tuesday. I think that'll be fun. Something to change things up. Try out something a little different. That's going to be the stream on Tuesday. I'm excited about it. Should be pretty good. And speaking of good, this kit is looking pretty good despite me being unhappy with how this goes. The first game is fun. Nice. Hope you enjoy plugging in a power cable, keyboard, and monitor a lot. I am looking forward to that. So I don't have to do anything with these because they're all single units. And then we still have more things to put on here on the chest, of course. John says, I built this last year. Just click what you were building. Oh, yeah. We're working on Char's Zaku 2 version 2. This is the master grade from 2007. It is the second version of Char's Zaku 2. There are many variations of the Zaku out there, and the Zaku 2, I should say, out there, particularly Char's. The HGs, I built a lot of Zaku 2 HGs and Zaku 1s. Zaku Warrior, Zaku FG, the Shin Zaku. The Goof Cat just raided with a party of 4. Welcome, Raiders. Hello. And Mez Does just gave a follow. Appreciate that. Saying, we building tonight. We are. I was just explaining to folks, this is the... yeah, thank you for the follow. This is the master grade version of the kit. So it is big. So it requires a lot of pieces like the rockets that we're putting on the back of this. The rockets are 4 pieces, which is a lot. Or yeah, with and a connector. Instead of just like a little tiny thing, it's going to be a bunch of stuff because it's a very detailed kit. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of work to put into this, but hopefully we'll look pretty good. Now, Raiders, thank you for being here. Viewers, thank you for being here. What's going to happen right now is I'm going to be selfish for a little bit. I try to run these streams with you, the viewer, in mind. I try to have entertainment while I'm working. This is an entertainment product, or me doing this is supposed to be fun. But every now and again, and by that I mean every single stream at around 10 o'clock, I promote myself and my continued existence on the internet. So please bear with me for the next couple minutes as I promote myself. Now, everything I'm about to talk about here is optional. You don't have to do any of this stuff. If you would like to, I would love it. But if you don't want to, that's okay. If you are currently a subscriber to the channel, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through cash money or through your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch, you could get that token and use it on anyone and use it on me. Why not? You could gift a sub. We have not had any gift subs in January. That's okay. We're going to get them towards the end of the month. But right now, don't have any. If you want to gift a sub anonymously or take credit, you could do that. You could also cheer. Cheer is always appreciated. Those are the ways to support me via Twitch. And again, optional. Hit the follow button if you haven't already. I'm 2 followers away from 2,000 followers, which is not anything particularly like, it's just a cool number. Doesn't do anything. But as mentioned earlier in the stream, I have a Patreon. That's my alternative there to going through this service. If you would like to support me financially on a monthly basis so I can keep making cool streams and buying model kits to build, you can join my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, a $3, a $5, and a $10 tier. And funnily enough, there are different rewards for the different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. I also have a YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatBear. If you want to go over to the YouTube channel, you can subscribe for free, of course. If you want to become a member for just $2 a month, you jump on over there. You become a member. You get my Wednesday videos because I do a weekly series with a new episode every Wednesday for something. You can check that out. More on that in a minute. And then also, that money from AdSense in that goes into a fund, and I buy model kits with that. There's also one-time donations because those are monthly. If you just want a one-time, throw me a couple dollars to keep this operation going, you can do that because I haven't said this in a while, but video games. I buy a video game, I can stream that for as long as I want. Just keep playing that video game, no problem. I buy model kits, and eventually I build the model kit. Then I got to buy more model kits. I chose this life. But if you want to help me continue to do it, I would appreciate that. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, through Twitch, and through Patreon all goes into a fund. I bought the V2 Char Zaku 2, or Char Zaku V2 Master Grade with money from y'all. So past you is helping present me build this model kit. And what I did want to say is in the future, I'll be building other stuff. I got a backlog of things. Now, I did say what I'm going to be building next in the future, but there is a way to help decide what I build right after that. If you buy something from my Amazon wish list, it jumps the queue and becomes the next thing I build. So once I'm done with the amplified Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is what I'm doing after this, then I'll work on stuff that's bought off my Amazon wish list. It'll get a dedicated video on my YouTube channel about the thing you bought. It's called a mailbag video. I've got model kits. I've got inexpensive kits, expensive kits, stuff that I felt like I must have built in the past. Like, I thought for sure I had built the Dagger L from Gundam Seed Destiny. Never built that kit. For some reason, I thought I had. Now it's on the wish list because I haven't built it. But again, inexpensive model kits, expensive model kits, Lego sets, a variety of stuff, some gear at the bottom because it's always nice to have some options if people want to support the channel but don't know what to buy for me to build. And they want to just, buy me a backup pair of snipper clips because it's always nice to have a backup. You could do that, or another stand because it's always nice to have some action bases, just, or a bunch of different things on there on the wish list. See if there's something there you'd like to see me build, or if you just want to get a tool that you think would be beneficial to the stream, you could do that. My alternative to Amazon, because it's good to have alternatives, is, of course, Throne. I have a Throne wish list. You can check that out. We will get back to building in just a moment. And then the most convoluted way to support me is to go to USA Gundam Store. Buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. They will send you an email with that gift card code. Then you whisper me here on Twitch or DM me on Twitter with that gift card code number and letters, which I will use to buy something on USA Gundam Store. I won't buy a gift card with your gift card. That would be, I don't think they allow that. They shouldn't allow that. It would be very funny though if I was like, I'm going to buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store for the future. No, don't do that. I have a Discord. If you want to support me without spending any money, I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. The Discord is nice, and it's not super active. It's not annoyingly active. You can let it go and check in, and it's good. A couple of video links for you to check out. Pat Bear's Anime Club, my ongoing video series, where every other Monday I put up a new video talking about something from the world of anime that I want to chat with the audience about. This was my fall review / winter preview. The winter season is in full swing right now, and I talked about some of the shows that were really making me happy, really enjoying, and you can check out that video to hear about that. Or if you missed out on last season and you want to know what I thought was awesome, check that video out. And then, speaking of anime, my weekly Wednesday series, Kuma Bear, your weekly anime recommendation. First episode launched of Kuma Bear, where I talked about Witch from Mercury, my favorite show of last year, and also my favorite show of 2022. And it's a under 1 minute explanation, just a tease, trying to give you some information to make your own decision if you want to check out that show and where to watch it. And I will be doing these weekly. I just recorded my second one and uploaded it. It'll go out on Wednesday. And I'm going to, now that I feel like I have the rhythm, I'm going to bank a bunch of them because it's pretty simple for me to do. They have built-in captions, baked-in captions, I should say, although I am keeping a version of it that does not have the captions because maybe someday I'll want to upload those to a service that does a better job than how I'm doing it, which is using a AI-assisted tool to give what they think I've said, and then I go in and actually put in the right words and the right spellings because they didn't understand the word I was saying, the name of the anime that I'll be talking about next week. No, they had no clue. And they don't spell my last name right. Why would they? Maybe someday they'll learn. And then a bunch of people will be typing bear into things and getting the wrong spelling and being very confused. Anyway, I have a bunch of anime to talk about as I finish up the chest of this kit. So let's get into that in a moment. Before I do that, I'm in desperate need of some water. I'm going to drink some water and we'll dramatically transition back to the overhead right now. All right, let's work on the backpack for this. And while I'm working on it, I will tell you about the anime that I have been watching. One continued series and 2 new ones. We are continuing on. You forgot. I forgot. We always had the dramatic transition. It was added 3 or 4 years ago. John, that was added when I got a Stream Deck. So it was only a couple years ago. I don't remember when I got the Stream Deck. But when I got the Stream Deck, I added in the dramatic transition because now I can do a bunch of transitions that include music. That's also when about when the dance button happened and when sound effects for renewing subscriptions, all that. That's all Stream Deck related. I used to just drink a bunch of water at the end of that segment and then switch over. But yeah, fair question. Frieren. So this episode, not a lot happens in this episode, which is fine because I had a bunch of fucking anime to watch. So to me, it was okay that not a lot happened in this episode, and I was able to focus on, easy. I could do my write-up for this pretty easily. Frieren this week is very true. Bear Stream 2.0, yes. Frieren was pretty damn chill, John. Yeah. Is deciding if he is going to leave the party or not because he really wants to reunite with his childhood friend who is known as the Guerrilla Warrior. He wants to reunite with his friend, and if he goes along with the rest of the crew, he's going to be going in a different direction than where his friend, he believes his friend went. So he's like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do then. So he needs time to think. And so they stop in a village to give him some time and then he gets plenty of time to decide because there is a bunch of snow. So while he's thinking about what he's going to do, so I need I here. Sorry. Get I out. While he's thinking about, hey, what am I going to do during all of this? There's some arguments. Fern, our human mage, is pretty PO'd with our human warrior Stark, because Stark at one point accidentally grabs her arm too hard and surprises her. So they're mad at each other. It's like is it a lover's quarrel? Well, they're not really dating yet, but there's definitely like, you know, they're young and they're together, they're in a group together and it's only natural. They have a very strong rapport with one another. So, it's probably happening. So they're convinced to make up, and then the storm goes, and then also sun goes. So their healer is just like, peace, I gotta go find my friend. Once again, the guerrilla warrior, the guy that had the guts to leave when he didn't have the guts. So the party is no longer complete. Now they're heading off to the city so they can take the first class mage exam, because one of them needs to be a first class mage in order for them to travel to the demon continent or the northern continent. So that's the whole reason they're traveling this way. They have to go take the test. Obviously, Frieren should pass it, no problem. Fern might even pass it. We'll see. So they got to go do that. But along the way, Fern comes down with something, not doing well, gets sick. So they stop in another village so that she can be treated. And Frieren is just like, well, I've been with Fern for a number of years, as her master. And one thing I like to do is hold her hand so she knows someone's there. And that's like, Frieren is, she has emotions. She's just like kind of a weird gal. So it's interesting that she understands that. And then it's revealed, oh yeah, well, this was a thing that when I wasn't feeling great, this is something that Himmel did for me, Himmel the hero. And that's like, oh, all right, yeah. That makes a lot of sense. That Himmel would do that. Because he was always trying to bring out some humanity in her. So I'm like, oh yeah, all right. That works. All right, so we have to pull this one out. This is 12, goes here. And Fern gets better, and then they're like, okay, they make it into the city whose name I didn't even write down because it's like, I think it's Nordic in nature, but I didn't write it down. They make it to that city just in time to take the first class mage exam, so they don't have to like stay and wait for that long. Chris Weed subscribes to Tier 1 saying, hey Pat, did you see the devs of Stray Souls, a game I hadn't heard of, is threatening to sue someone? First, we'll throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe Tier 2 blue emote in chat and thank Chris for the 17 months. That is a lot of months. Thank you very much, Chris, for your continued support. Appreciate you. No, I did not see that. I do not know what Stray Souls is. Maybe I do know what Stray Souls is. I mean, I know what Stray is, and I don't know if I know about Stray Souls. We're talking anime here, but I will just quickly look. That's a game on Steam that came out this year. Around probably Halloween here. Let's check the news real quick. Is that this? Are they? Stray Souls developer announces closure, and apparently they got cyberbullied. So maybe are they going to sue the people that bullied them? Poland-based devs cite cyberbullying, poor reception, and bad sales for shutdown. So, yeah, that sucks. Also, Versus Evil, the publisher, shut down. So that's maybe they're going to sue them. I don't know. I don't know who they're suing. We understand that you did not wish to continue actively supporting us for the obvious reasons mentioned above. Yeah, sounds like not great, Chris. Sounds like sounds like things aren't awesome. I'm not going to pretend that I know a lot about what's going on over there. But they were one of the studios that was affected by that. The guy they're threatening to sue is GB Adjacent. Okay. I mean, again, that was not in the newest article that I saw about this game is about them shutting down, not about them suing anyone. So you just might have information that is not. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, they're going to sue Bob? Okay. The Stray Souls developer is threatening to sue me, so let's play Lethal Company. Okay. Yeah, all right. Oh, so they're not suing him, they're threatening to sue him. That's very different. Um, yeah, that's just someone getting threatened. Uh, oh, the creator of Stray Souls is a okay. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, here is a clarifying thing. Um, uh, the maker of Stray Souls, or at least the founder of it, is ex Bloober Team, and Bob is very critical of Bloober Team. So that makes a lot of sense. Okay, that is connecting a lot of the dots. Okay, um, they're not gonna sue him. They're gonna threaten him. They don't clearly they don't have any money, and I don't think they're gonna sue him. Yeah, in Poland for defamation. Yeah, that's okay. I think, Chris, it's going to be okay. I don't think that's going to be a thing that anyone has to worry about. Uh, because they would have threatened him via Twitter. So, yeah, I think it's okay to just go, oh, well, that's weird. And leave it at that. We are going to be talking about a new show called Sasaki and Peeps. Sasaki and Peeps is a new anime because we're getting into the new anime season. It is an isekai, but it has started off fairly weird. I should say the first episode is 48 minutes long. So if you were like, oh, I want to check that one out, make sure you have the time. It's not a regular length episode. It's a double length episode, which was cool because we did manage to get a lot of information out about it in that 48 minutes. So Sasaki and Peeps. Now, I should say this. Peeps is the name that shows up when the bird is referred to. That is not what the bird is being called in Japanese. The bird is being called Pichan. And the localization of it, they have decided to call this bird Peeps, because Pichan is derived from the sound the bird makes, which is like a peep. And so I understand why they went with that. But I am going to do my best to refer to this bird whenever possible as Pichan, because Pichan is a better name, in my opinion. So with that out of the way, Sasaki is an office worker. He is approaching 40. He's at a trading company. He is a low-level employee there. He's a hard worker, and we get the sense through the episode that, like, this dude, like, is trying, but he's pretty, like, content, right? He's pretty much content with, like, not making his way up the ladder. He has it, he only earns so much, so he does feel stuck where he can't quit to try to get a new job because he doesn't really have the savings for it. And also there's a line of dialogue in it about how, like, there was an era with a recession and he managed to get hired during the recession. So he's scared to try to get a job now, which is, like, relatable. Sorry, let me just get this connected here. A lot going on for these rockets that I need to account for here. So, here's the thing. He doesn't have a relationship. He lives alone. But there's one thing that he wants. He'd love to have a pet. The dude is crazy for animals. Now, no, this can't be right. This has to be, sorry. Does that go like that? Yeah. All right. So this has to go These have to go like out this way. They go out like this. And go out like that. Sometimes this kit's explanation of what how things work here is not excellent, I'll say. Is that right? No, that can't be right. This goes like that. And these are supposed to stick out, but they don't fit that way, so they can't go that way. So what are they have to go down. But that doesn't make any sense. All right, so this stands like this. This looks like this. Oh, okay. Sorry, there was a little snippet here that I didn't understand. So this is just a kit from 2007. So it's just like not the most understandable. Aristovan, I'll put I don't have that set so people can. I don't want people spamming that. So I have some commands that are set to just me. Basically, there's a little nubbin here that I think is structural integrity as the part is being printed, but is not part of the build. And I missed that tiny little step there. That was something I had to do. Now this should fit in. John says, I remember when we found out permission of those were wrong and I triggered them. Yes. So I have basically made it so that some things only I can trigger because nobody has spammed those, but they could, and I don't want them to. Okay. So this is going to go like this. Now, these should slide in here as I want them to. Which they want. Yeah, no problem. And I know you wouldn't abuse it, but that was the thing where I was like, oh yeah, I should set those as with permissions. You're building a model piano and legit had to shave off 2 entire stubs because the cogs weren't turning. Yeah, that's frustrating. Okay, now this is connected. Now this looks good. Now this is how it should be. Great. I've gotten this part done. That was annoying. Now I can put on some armor here and get this all connected. And we can continue talking about Sasaki and Peeps, because I haven't even gotten to the Peeps part yet. I haven't even talked to you about Peeps, or Peachon. So, he look, here's the thing. He'd love to have a pet. He thinks animals are cute. He would love to have one and care for one, and that would really turn his life around a bit. But he can't afford, a pet store, dog or cat, and maintenance and keeping up with them and feeding them. He just knows that's not in the budget. That's just not going to work out for him. So he's listful. But while he's in the pet store, kind of like thinking about it, this bird kind of is talking to him, just like making some noise. And this is an adorable little sparrow. A great looking bird. It's inexpensive. It's got a star pattern on its chest. It's cooing and making little peep noises. And he's like, all right, I'll take this bird home. Yeah, I'm going to take this bird home. And he's talking to the bird and kind of chatting, trying to figure out what she'd name the bird. And the bird just says, my name is Pierre Carlo. I am the Star Sage from another world. And our guy takes that pretty well because he's like, oh, wait, can sparrows mimic human speech? He's just like, wait, what? And he's like, my name is Pierre Carlo, the Star Sage from another world. And he's like, okay, well, what about Peachan? Giancarlo or Pierre Carlo, not particularly thrilled, but we go with it. And then he's just like, hey, I need your help because I am a world-renowned mage. I got a lot of power, but I can't I can't use my mage powers in this body. It's going to really fuck things up because it's just the body of a bird. So basically, our guy, Sasaki, is just like, oh, okay, sure. And they form a contract. So Sasaki gets some magic abilities from P-chan. And P-chan is able to channel magic through Sasaki instead, and which works out great for all involved. It's fantastic that this is happening. Because they transport into an isekai, a different world, which is the world that he used to live in when he was a mage. We have not, in this first episode, found out how our boy P-chan died. How he was if we know how he was able to be reborn as a bird, why he was on Earth. These are questions that are honestly have not been asked, which is weird, but whatever. Basically, our guy is just like, in order to deal with all of this information, has just kind of like let it wash over him. He's kind of just riding the vibes on this one and just kind of going with it, which I think is for the best. So they can travel back and forth. Also, he can be teleported places, which is great. He can starting to use magic, and it turns out he's got a high affinity for a lot of magic. He can use earth magic and fire magic and ice magic, and why can't this connect right? I'm trying to figure out why this is not lining up properly. So hold on. Is this looks like it should just slide right on and not be a problem. But the fact of the matter is, it's not doing that. So that's annoying, because I do need this to connect. I need these things to connect. Is it the rockets? Are the rockets not in far enough? Let's try something else with the rockets. If it's the rockets, that makes a lot of sense, because why wouldn't this be the problem? If I suddenly realized that I hadn't done this right, I wouldn't be shocked. Well, I guess a good way to know is if I can slide this on without the rockets and it fits right on, then it's me. But no, it's not that. Okay, this doesn't fit right on. So it's not that, just that. It might be other things. Oh boy. All right, so magic happens. Now here's the thing. Peeps wants to eat expensive food. P-chan wants to eat expensive food. Our guy wants to supply you with expensive food, but he doesn't have money for that. So they come up with a scheme to make money. There's a restaurant scheme. There is opening various things. There's a man named French, who is opening a restaurant for him. He's trading. He eventually trades with a noble. He's learning magic. Now that he doesn't have to commute to work, he's like much more of a go-getter, and he's doing fine there. All right, friends. This is... What? Take these off here. Take this off now. Put those back in later. I don't know why this is not like this. This should be flush, and it's not, and I don't know why it isn't. That's really fucking annoying me. Okay, so this. Okay. This, if nothing fucks up, is how this is supposed to look. So now I need to figure out all the various things that I took out of this need to go back in, and it still needs to look like this. So we'll try a bunch of, we'll try a bunch of different variations and try to get all these parts that need to get just right connected so that it'll do that. So this needs to go like that. Okay. Now, if that's like that, can I do this flush build? Yes. So that seems to be correct. Okay, this piece has arch like that. This piece needs to go in here and look like that. Okay. That's connected. Will this connect? Yes, that will. Okay, so far all of this is right. Now I need to do these parts. The tubes. Let me get the tubes back on and then connect that up. Try to get these all on, right? And then see if that's going to work. Okay, so everything's going pretty good, right? Everything's good. He's learning magic. He's learning from people. He's making connections in the other world. He's, now that he doesn't have a community, he's doing better in his job. But then a thing happens. The second half of the episode basically happens, and things get a little weird for our characters. He witnesses someone using what he assumes is magic. Oh, God. Someone else in this world is using magic, and they're attacking a woman. And obviously, like, fuck that shit. That can't fly. No, not on our guy's watch. Is this the right? Is this even the right piece? A10. Let me just make sure this is the right piece, because there's a chance this is not A10. Maybe that's why things aren't working right. But that's probably A10. It just doesn't look right in the design. Yeah, okay, that is A10. Why doesn't this look right then? Got real quiet there. Sorry. Aha. That's what it is. Connector pieces that I misunderstood how they connect. Okay. So that's supposed to go like that. That goes like that. Okay. Now I remember how this works. Again, every part of this should be working now that these are in the right spot. Theoretically, all this will work out. Next, I need to connect these parts here. The end cap pieces that go like that. Okay. All right. Fairly sure I'm about to get this here. Fairly sure. So yeah, a guy is using what looks like magic to attack a woman, and our boy is like, all right, well, I gotta help. And so he uses magic, and he's never used magic on a person before, but he does, and he helps out save the day. And then the woman he helps pulls a gun on him. What the fuck? Hoshinzaki is apparently a Japanese special agent. There is a police force out there that is dealing with, or that is trying to help deal with, psychics. She refers to him as a psychic. And he's like, what? Okay. So apparently, this seems unrelated. So far, this is unrelated. Oh, we did it. Fuck yeah, we did it. Okay. Thank fucking God. This is all connected. Just don't fucking fall apart. Apparently, there are people that are developing psychic abilities, and some of them are working for the government. And our guy weirdly, our dude is a dude who travels different worlds and has a talking bird that was a grand wizard, important wizard, I should say, not a grand wizard. We'll say that. A fantastic wizard, the Star Seeker. Also, there are psychics on Earth, and our boy is confused for one. And now a government agency who clearly the guy who is in charge of him, his supervisor, is up to probably something really shady. He's up to something. We know that. And then the woman that wants him to be his partner is way too gung-ho. And then if that's not enough, our guy comes home and the girl, throughout this long episode, there has been a girl who is in a school uniform, clearly a high school girl, that lives next door. And she's definitely not in a great place. And they've been cordial to one another. And at one point, he gives her a chocolate bar because she's clearly hungry. And you get the sense that, does this girl have a crush on this older man that is nice to her? Oh, no. And then at one point, she's just like, who was that woman you were with? And she has this look on her face. And I'm like, oh, no, this is a yandere girl. Ah, fuck. Am I going to hate this anime? So I don't know what's going on with this teenager. But he apparently clears up the misunderstanding that she has. Hopefully he clears that up. I don't know what the fuck's going on. But that's how the episode ends. And I'm like, oh no. Am I going to watch episode 2? Yes. The bird is very cute. And it's fun that his voice does not match the cuteness. I am intrigued by the other world stuff. I do know that this is also a magical girl series. Or it's considered a magical girl series. So at some point, there's going to be a magical girl at one point. The whole element of also he's now not working at the office job that he had. He now works for the government. That's all very weird. And I don't quite know how that's supposed to work out and what that's going to be. I'm not sure how that plays out. And then the part that makes me the most nervous is the girl next door who might be a yandere crazy person. And I'm definitely worried about that. I'm also worried that I'm not connecting this properly. I don't know why. This isn't working right. Hey, this kit is fucking fiddly. Fiddly. It's got real weird vibes to it. This whole kit. And it's one of those things where I'm like, am I doing it wrong? That was like slightly not snapped together right. And that it didn't want to work. And now it is. Okay. Every part of this master grade is unbelievably fiddly. It's going to look wild and great. But it's like they put too much detail in it because it doesn't all quite fit right. If that makes any sense. Like, I think it looks neat. Like, this took almost the entire stream is just me working on the chest. Like, we finished the chest, we're going to move on to the head. Like, that's so much time that I put into this part, which is a big part of the kit, the chest and the backpack. But still, that's a lot of this kit was just this step, or a lot of time for that. Now I can move on to working on the head, at least. And of course, there's a sticker, but there's only, I think, one sticker on the head, and we find. And now I finally, so I'm going to keep watching this show because it's weird, and I do like weird. Now, one I am going to watch that, this is going to be a sleeper. I could be the only person you know talking about the Unwanted Undead Adventurer. I might be the only person you know who is chatting this show up because I think it's something special. I really like this manga that it's based on. Not a lot happened in this episode because it was plenty of action, but it's an intriguing story that takes its time, and I don't know if it's going to find an audience, but I think it's really cool. So let me tell you a bit about the Unwanted Undead Adventurer. Let me tell you about Rent with 2 T's. Rent is a lovable loser. Ren has tried very hard to raise in the ranks as being an adventurer. And he's stuck at bronze. He's stuck at beginner for 10 years. Now, later I can tell you that he was still appreciated. That he didn't know this, but he was loved and appreciated. But he's felt really shitty being at that level. And all he can do is keep working at it. So you can kind of understand why, while exploring a labyrinth, he discovers as yet unfound, like not on the maps, section of the labyrinth. Now, what he should do is report it. He should mark on his map where he is and then tell people, hey, I found this part. And then like a properly equipped party will go and investigate. This is above his pay grade and above his ability. But here's the thing. Undiscovered dungeons have undiscovered treasure. Maybe he can find some weapons that he can sell, or, like some treasures that, like this could change his life. And it's worth the risk. Except it's not worth the risk. It's the lair of a fucking dragon, and Rent dies. He's just dead. He's pretty much instantaneously murdered by a dragon. That's the end of the anime. No, that's not the end of the anime. Because at some point in the future, we don't know exactly how long from it, Rent wakes up. Rent is back, and Rent is a skeleton. Somehow Rent has become sentient again. Rent kills another skeleton and realizes, okay, I've gotten some spirit energy, and Rent realizes, oh, I've evolved as a skeleton. That's what's happening right now. Rent realizes that some monsters, not every monster, but some monsters, when they kill other things and grow in power, they can develop evolution. So, because he knows, hey, I'm an undead skeleton. I can't communicate with people. If I leave this dungeon and go out into the world, somebody is going, like a priest is going to come and exorcise me. Like, oh, hell yeah, is this a skeleton anime? For a very small part of this, for most of this episode, yes. He does not stay a skeleton, Chris. This is not about an undead skeleton. I'll get to that in a second. He is a skeleton for some of this episode. So, our guy Rhett realizes, oh shit, I have been killed. I am now a skeleton. I am, low on the chain. All I can do is keep killing other monsters until someday I become a ghoul. And then maybe I can evolve from being a ghoul. Because at least ghouls have, like, flesh. It's kind of rotted, but they do have flesh. So he does start killing other things. And, because basically the idea is, like, if I become a ghoul, then I'll have enough, then I'll be able to, like, blend in and disguise myself. And then maybe I can find someone that will be willing to help me. So that's the plan. And as he's killing skeletons and growing his power, he realizes, oh, wait, I'm now stronger than I was as a human. Like, it doesn't take long for this skeleton to be... Oh, this is the wrong piece. God damn it. Way stronger than he was in his previous life. Like, he's already so much stronger. This was supposed to be 6. I grabbed the wrong thing. I was like, why does this sticker not feel right, fit right on this piece of plastic? It's because it's the wrong piece of plastic. I goofed, everybody. After conquering the backpack here and completing the chest, I fucked this up. All right, so now I'm trying to peel off the sticker without ruining it. So, our boy Rhett, he by the end of this episode, he has transformed into a ghoul. He is now a ghoul, and so he will look like if he wraps himself up, he will look like a damaged human. And he has flesh now, but also, guess what? He has, like, half desecrated vocal cords. So he needs to figure some way out to be able to talk to people because they're not going to be able to understand him. But he's on his way. So again, slow-paced, A lot of this show is, is a little depressing in this. What I can tell you about this from reading the manga is our dude figures it out. Our guy figures it out, and this fucking story takes a while, but it goes places. There's some interesting things that happen with this character. There are some reveals about who he is and why he is the way he is, which are, I would describe as wild. When we start getting to what the fuck is going on with this guy, it's kind of, I don't want to say bonkers, but it's like weird. It gets really weird. It's a show I didn't think would get an anime adaptation, and I'm very glad it did, because it is just a cool series. So I'm very pleased that this is where we're at. But again, I would consider myself pretty damn surprised that we're getting this anime. So yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, it's on Crunchyroll. The Unwanted Undead Adventurer. It's pretty neat, and I'm interested in seeing more of it. All right, so let's get this part connected. I've done a lot of Zaku 2 heads, so this is at least makes sense to me how this part of the kit goes together. And then this goes, even if I messed up previously. And then this goes in here. We got little cogs here, and basically this eventually this eye is going to be able to move around depending on how you turn it. The eye will be able to move some. Then we need the clear part here. Now it's the part of the stream. We got a couple minutes left, friends. If you guys have been playing anything or watching anything, you can let me know in chat. If people have been doing anything, you've been up to anything, you can always let me know. We don't have a lot of time left on the stream here because I had a lot of anime to talk about. But if you've been up to anything, let me know. Again, my next stream will be Monday, where I will finish the head of this kit, and then I will start working on other parts. What's after the head here? The arms. Like, the head is going to take more work to do, but we'll be able to start working on the arms, and that'll be good. Because we are going to unfortunately have to connect. We got more hose pieces to connect. And hopefully I'll figure out a better way of getting those. What I might do is, I might on my own do this part of this step. I might just do this before Monday stream. I think I might just do that because this was so annoying that I don't want to have y'all watch me do it. But we've done some of the head. I'm attaching the head now. It's too early to attach the head, but I am attaching some of the head, and then we will continue working on that in the future. You've been watching an Alan Wake 2 playthrough? Hell yeah. I have finished Alan Wake 2 twice now. I did the new game. It's very fun. I really like Alan Wake 2. I think it's a great game. And Ghost Fowl got my weekend projects done. Just playing some AC6. Nice. Enjoy that. And then Lashbrook says, I've been catching up on Twin Peaks Season 2 for the Next Lander Watchcast and also Alan Wake 2. Nice. Those go well together. Those pair very well. I would say you've made a good call with that, with those choices. Good job is what I would say there. Playing Disgaea 5 and getting ready to start work back up on Monday. All right, John. Yep. Work. I understand. We are going to end there, friends. We're going to end the stream there, but I did want to hear from you. I wanted to hear what you're up to. We are going to end this stream. Alan Wake really got me with the Game Awards performance. Oh, I hear you. Yeah, totally. We're going to end this stream with a raid. That is how we end every stream around here, is we're going to go on a raid. We're going to go find somebody doing cool stuff out there. We always end with a raid. Indeed. And we'll see who's streaming on a Saturday that we want to go hang out with. And we'll go see that right now. Let's see. Not a lot of people that I follow are streaming tonight. Weird. Yeah, that's sweet. Wow. Okay. Aristofan started up Baldur's Gate 3 again. Didn't put more than 5 hours into it before. Already ran a companion I hadn't met before. Nice. Oh, I hope this one sticks for you, Aristofan. Yeah. We're gonna raid Old Timey Computer Show. That is what I raid when none of the human beings that I like to raid are streaming. Right now they're watching Video Arcade Top 10, number 202 from 1994. So we're gonna raid Old Timey Computer Show again. This is what I raid when human beings that I like to raid aren't streaming. But Old Timey Computer Show will be pretty cool. Akito, welcome. Thanks for hanging out, throwing some emotes in the chat. Feel free to come along this raid. It's going to be fun. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Hope to see you tomorrow. Sorry, on Monday. Not tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I hope to see you on Monday for another great stream where we'll make more progress on this kit than we did tonight, certainly. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.